let's look at a couple of business model canvas best practices together. Ouch. Well, this is definitely not the way to do it. There are a couple of problems with this business model canvas. The first problem is that there's much too much granularity. In fact, there's so much information that you can't understand the big picture. The second problem here is that there's random color coding. Your brain is going to try to read something into the colors, and in this case, the colors don't mean very much. The third problem here is that there's no story. You want a business model canvas where every building block has a role to play and contributes to the story. So let's get started with a couple of best practices. Practice number 1. Use color coding, but not like before, but with a system. So let's say you have a networking platform that's targeting free users, and you have 2 other customer segments, advertisers and app developers. Well, you could color code the different segments with a different color, and then color code every element related to those customer segments accordingly. Now, that's going to help you to sketch out a business model with a very, very clear meaning, and you're going to understand what is related to each segment. You can use color coding for other elements as well, but make sure you want to say something with your color coding. Practice number 2. Separate your as-is business model, which is your business model today, as it is, as it stands, and the to-be business model, the business model that you want to design for tomorrow. That could be a new business model or improvements to your existing business model. But make sure you distinguish between both, could be with color coding, or even better, by using 2 different canvases. Practice number 3. Distinguish between facts, those are the things that you know in your business model with certainty, and assumptions, those are the things that you don't know yet and that you still have to prove. Now that applies mostly to new business models that you're trying to design. So if you have a business model canvas for a new venture, a new idea, or new elements that you want to add to your existing business model, make sure that you earmark the known elements of your business model as facts, and the unknown elements, those that you still have to figure out if they're true or not, as assumptions. And anybody who looks at this business model canvas can immediately understand the hypothesis underlying the business model and can get an understanding of the risks involved because you're distinguishing between facts and assumptions. Practice number 4. Design business models with a story. So what do we mean with that? Business models with a story are business models where every building block have a role to play. So let's look at Google. Let's say you have search ads for advertisers and a search engine for users. Well, every piece here has a role to play. So if we take out the search engine, if we pull it out, what's going to happen to the business model? In fact, it's going to crumble. It's going to fall apart. So great business models have a story, and when you pull one piece out, the whole business model crumbles. Practice number 5. Every building block is connected to another. So make sure you don't have so-called orphan elements. Let's say you have a new site targeting free users, so the revenue streams are 0 for those free users, and you want to earn money from banner advertising. Well, if you just leave banner advertising there as an orphan element, you're not telling the whole story. What you really want to do is say, hey, who is interested in paying banner advertising, and what are they paying for? Which value proposition are they paying for? Now, this might seem obvious, but I see business models all the time designed by senior executives that just have revenue streams that come from somewhere, but nobody paying for them and not for a specific value. So what you really want to do is make clear who's paying for that revenue stream and what they are paying for. And the same thing applies to all the other elements. Make sure that your business model elements are connected and no one single piece is not related to another. Practice number 6. Separate different ideas or stories into different canvases. So if you have many ideas in a canvas, what's going to happen? You're not going to be able to distinguish between them, and you're not going to get a good understanding of each idea. So don't do it that way. Ideally, you separate the ideas into different prototypes so you can get a clear understanding of each idea. And if you want to, at the end, you can still put the business models together. So sometimes it makes sense to take them apart to get a clear understanding, and sometimes it makes sense to put them together to see the synergies between the different pieces. So that's the way to do it. So let's summarize. 6 best practices here. First practice, color coding. Second practice, separate between as-is and to-be business model. Third practice, distinguish between facts and assumptions in your business model. Practice 4, design business models with a clear story where every building block has a role to play. And practice 5, make sure that every building block is connected to another. Practice number 6, separate different ideas or stories into different canvases so you get a good understanding of each idea. Now, let's get started with using these best practices.